Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast, with your hosts, Mike Mannino and Nariman Hamden, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
All right. Welcome to Unscripted Success with Michael Mannino and Nariman Dietz. Today, I've got one of the premier architects in Michigan, and their firm has won awards in design. I've used them many times. They're absolutely phenomenal. I'd like you to meet Pietro D'Aleo. He's an amazing architect, owner, and CEO of D'Aleo and Associates. Correct? Nice.
Hi, good. Well,
how you doing, man? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I like you mentioned, I'm an architect. We specialize in multifamily, single family, and medical. And we're expanding our practice as well as our horizons, dabbling in kind of a little bit of everything these days. But I'm very, very blessed to do so. Having the opportunities that we have and the people that we've connected with, such as yourself. Yeah.
Well, you guys, you're too kind. You're too kind about that. You guys are very modest. That's the one thing I love about you guys is your modesty. You've done amazing things. Some of the things I've seen come out of your office are just insane. And I don't know how you do it. Tell me a little about your family life. Married, kids.
Yes. Giancarlo and Juliana, they're good Italian names. 15 and 13.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah, they keep you busy. They definitely will make you lose your hair, especially at that age, So that's where money was. But they and my wife, she does. She's actually a makeup artist, so she does a lot of. She's always working as well, but she's always there for the kids during the day, because they go in school. And so it works out well because she works on the weekend, and she gets to do what she wants to do, and I get to do what I want to do.
My daughter's makeup artist too. I was super surprised how much money they make. My daughter said she wanted to quit college. She wanted to be a teacher. And I said, no, Mannino's don't quit stuff. And she goes, no, I'm quitting. And I said, what do you want to do? Makeup artist. We're dudes. Right?
Yeah.
Right? We don't know.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I'm going to be a makeup artist. I said, well, show me that you can make enough to not be a teacher. She goes, no problem. In 1 week at 17, 18 years old, she brought $1,200 cash. She goes, I did a wedding and made all this money. And I'm like, all right, I should speak up.
Yeah. And likely it was on a weekend. It wasn't even, she had 2 gigs and making them.
I didn't know how much money. I'm like, can you support yourself? My goal. And she taught me, that, you don't have to go to school to make a lot of money. That I learned a lesson when my daughter was 15 to 18. Could you tell me a quick question where you're at now with your business and how you got there?
So we this firm originally started as solely single family, and then through the great financial crisis, we were squeezed just like everyone else was, and we basically had no work, so we had to reinvent ourselves. Through the years, we were able to expand both the typologies of work that we did. We expanded into commercial. People say commercial, it's a generalization, mostly retail, office, and then we started getting to some multifamily and so forth. But then we also simultaneously we expanded in Florida as well. It was actually an old coworker that moved to Florida, and he wasn't doing anything. We weren't doing anything. So we kind of said, how about we market ourselves in Florida, and we'll see what we can get there, and we'll partner up and we'll split the work. Fast forward, and however many years that it's been since that was like 2008, 2007, through until now, then we have we basically have two offices there, one in Tampa, one in New Smyrna. We have in our group here shares some of the work in Florida and vice versa, and we both support ourselves. Each office supports the other, and we've gotten into all kinds of, like I said, mostly multifamily, including hotels. If you can qualify that as a multifamily. And a lot of it's the same animal, right?
Yeah.
A lot of high end homes, like coastal homes that are just beautiful. The work in Florida is a different. It's just different both in the type of buildings that are erected, the building methodologies, as well as the architecture itself. But it's been a lot of fun, and recently we are we paired up with another firm in East Mountain, and we're getting into the medical field, which is I think an important move for us, because with the uncertainty, there's the election coming up, uncertainty of just generally, it doesn't matter who's elected. I mean, that's an arguable statement, but I think medical will always be a strong sector, value, and so that is the strategic move on our part, and I think it's going to continue being. So we're going to try to expand that medical branch into Florida, and what's funny is the opportunity arose, and I didn't know how to put it all together really. My wife, I mean, being she's smart, she's a good Italian girl. That she's very, very strong, very, very, very smart, like I was saying, and she's on like, why don't you create different branches, and you can set it up this way. And I'm like, I took it to work. And I'm like, this is what we're doing.
There you go.
And I laid it out, but sometimes when you're in it too far, it's kind of like you have to step back, you have to look at the big picture to kind of put pieces together, but. Anyway,
sometimes in the stress, it's tough to think. Last night I was in a business meeting. It was a very important business meeting, and my computer just went, no. Just trying to get it back together, trying to get it back together. I go, Tammy, I need some help. And she goes, iPad, and she goes, why don't you just do it through this? I'm like, oh, geez, there you go. Simple answer. I know exactly what you're talking about. The good woman is someone said this, your wife is your number one indicator of success.
Yeah, I believe that. She's an amazing. I don't think you've met her yet. I've met your wife. Like, she's an amazing woman. But yeah, I we have to do dinner. I'll introduce you.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait to talk to her about makeup. Like, my daughter taught me so much about that. How much money?
Yeah.
We'll talk about solo salon later, but let's go through a little bit more.
Yeah.
You have a lot of competition in being an architect. There's tons of architect firms. Some good, not so good. What do you guys do to set yourself apart from those other firms?
Well, lately, we've been first of all, design. Design is the number one component that sets us apart. If you have good design, it's like free marketing. Every building that you design and people see it, and then it's built. They're like, well, who did this? That is the ultimate marketing tool. So number one is design, and then in both, we've been focusing on the production end of things recently, because the quality of the drawings also is something that I think needs to be present in order to set yourself apart. Not that other architects don't have high quality work. It's just that because everyone's busy right now, there's a little bit less quality that goes into the drawings that are going out. And every time I see our drawings, unless you develop systems to make sure that quality is maintained, they will, even our own firm, they'll decline, because we're trying to get things out fast, and there's deadlines, clients that are putting pressure on us, and so forth. That kind of thing is at that point is when, at the beginning of the point rather, is when you really have to focus on systems and ensuring that they all have a rigorous kind of qualitative system to ensure that the end product. Because there's nothing worse than, the design is great, but the drawings are shit. I say shit.
You're right.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple.
Yeah. So, and that's not good. I mean, that people they don't want to work with you after that. They might actually hire you for the design part and then farm it out. We want to do all of it, because it's, first of all, liability. You want to kind of see the project all the way through, and then to ensure that the design is followed. So, because it's ultimately a representation of your conceptions.
Okay, well, that's really good advice. If someone listening, wants to get good at what you're good at, what do you think your advice to them would be? What kind of tips would you give them?
So, firstly, like I said, design. You need a good designer, and I don't know if that's something that you're kind of born with, And if you yourself don't have it, hire someone that does.
There you go.
That's my best advice. So design is number one. Number two is if again, building systems, if you have a thorough knowledge of building systems, create almost like a template that your employees can follow to impart those qualitative elements. And if you don't have that, you hire someone.
Hire some. Hire your weakness. Hire your weakness. When you're that good at, hire that. Like,
that's exactly it. Yeah, and it takes, as architects, we're always prideful in some ways, and we delay doing that. And I myself have been at fault for that. But if you can take and it's not be prideful, and then you realize that you can't do it all, then that's when you've kind of something happens where you're building your business evolves as a result, because now you're saying, well, you're hiring the people that need to that you need in order to push the boulder forward, so to speak. You can do it yourself.
I'll never forget, we're the interview process for the girl that runs our flipping company in Michigan, and girl was leaving. She was pregnant. She's having a kid. And we're like, hey, completely understand. Go raise a family. That's very honorable. You're gonna have to help us find somebody. And she goes, what are you looking for? My son goes, not my dad. Anybody but my dad. So I'm really not good at computers. I'm not good at spreadsheets. I'm not good at any of that stuff. And what he was trying to say is hire your weakness. I'm really good with people. I'm good with the contracting. I'm good with getting stuff done. I'm really good at that. So hire the paperwork and the stuff. And the girl we have now is not Olivia. Knocks it out of the park. So hire your weakness. That's the greatest advice I could hear.
Yeah, I saw your son is I did a search after you invited me to be on. I guess we were talking about your son. Amazing! Like he was on another podcast. He's like a guru. That's amazing. You should be so proud.
Very, very,
Yeah.
very, very proud of him. You know, I'd like to speak on podcasts on how to raise kids, and with him, I think I knocked it out of the park. I really did. The secret with him is I'm a little bit ahead of you on this. I never fed him. I made him hungry. So whenever he wanted something, like he wanted a cell phone, I'm like, how are you going to get it? Instead of giving him a cell phone, I'm like, how are you going to get it? And he goes, and he already had the plan. So this is all, you know, I got him to a certain point and then you don't have to worry about it. I might have did a little too young on my biggest thing. He goes, I want a cell phone. I'm like, how are you going to get it? And he goes, I'm mowing the grass for you. And if you put me on the plan, it'll be $10. And I got $80 for the, you want the nice flip phone, the Razor that does this? And he goes, no, because he knew me. I'm like, how are you going to get it? And then he found the cell phone that he wanted. And, you know, and he goes, all I need is your signature for the thing. I'm like, perfect. Now what I did at that point, he never had to ask me for anything ever again. He knew how to get it. And that was the greatest gift I gave him early on in life, you know, because then on my car, I'm like, how are we going to get it? He goes, it's this, the car, I want this. And then at 19, he bought a house. And this is your podcast. And I'm messing this up, but we can cut this out. So at 19, he comes up to me and goes, I want to buy a house. I'm like, whoa, you're 19. I might have pushed the car too fast. And he goes, no, I got $15,000. I'm going to either buy a Bumblebee, which is a Camaro, or like a house. He goes, what happens after I buy the house? I go, it goes up in value. What happens if you buy the car? You lose $4,000 as soon as you take it off the lot. And he put a plan together and he goes, shoot holes in it.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, that's what's missing today, and a lot of the people that are out there, you know, the kids, the people that we interview here, and I'm like, oh my dear, you have no idea, you know, like that's missing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I knocked it, and he's in that group, he's in that age bracket, and he's killing it. You know, I made him, you know, before this is, you know, I'm doing this for you. Your kids are at that age. Everybody the whole time was like, you go watch your kids' friends, got to watch your kids' friends. I'm like, no, I don't care about my kids' friends. I'm going to make my kids leaders, and they're only going to have followers around them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to care about them. I'm going to care about my kid. And it really worked out great. Now he's killing it. I mean, he is killing it. So I got to get out a podcast on raising kids.
There you go. Next one.
Okay, we'll go from now on. So what is the big challenge for you to overcome over your career? What's your big hump that you had to do?
Yeah, a mindset shift. And that's the biggest challenge. Because if you know, like, if you don't decide, okay, well, just to give you a small example, we were taking on at one point all projects, you know, and that includes additions, that includes renovations, industrial, blah, blah, blah. And so every time we get all of this work, it's great, but that accepting everything only. I think there's a book that's called what is it called? 10x is easier than 2x. Are you familiar with that? By Dan Sullivan. Yeah. So they talk about how 80% of the things you do not move you forward. It's the 20% that does, right? So we decided, well, look, we're 80% of this is just, you know, holding us back. You know, it's yes. How many jobs we get this year? 200. Amazing. Did we make? Is that reflected in our revenue? No. Is everyone exhausted? Yeah. You know. So
20 it's huge,
and it's foolproof. You cannot you cannot do 100% and get that see benefits from it. Like you can't move forward unless you decide, okay, well, this 80% of these projects are not, what we want to do, nor are we good at doing. Are we efficient at it? No. And they don't make us as much money. It's that 20%. As soon as we did that, we saw from 200 jobs a year, we went down to, I think, in this office did like 30, and our revenue tripled.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can see it pretty readily, both in the office and then personally. I mean, you're right. If you focus on everything, you're inefficient. You have to switch gears all the time, and it just doesn't work out. If you instead focus on those things that move the needle, and then farm out everything else, in terms of operations, then you see progress in your business, So that's where we're going.
I agree wholeheartedly. You knocked out arc with that one. Minus F shift. That's a tough one. A lot of people have a hard time with it. The 80-20 rule. We did the same thing. We have a flipping company, and we call them, first base, second base, third base, and home runs. And we took everything. We took the first base, second base, and the third base. And they were more problems than the home runs. We stopped doing all that. We're just going for the home runs. And then, if it's not a minimum of what we're looking for, we don't even bother. We're just like, here's our number. Have a nice day. We don't. Yeah. It's a game changer, isn't it?
That's where advancement is born, I would say. You got to focus on the things that make a difference. That's all.
I like what you said, 200 to 30, and you 10x that's 100%.
Yeah.
I like that. Sounds like things are going really well for you too, and that's awesome. You guys really do deserve that. Looking forward to the future, we've had conversations about this, but what is your idea, and how do you being in the business, how do you create passive income, and what do you like to invest in?
Well, no, we do have several investments in it, and they a lot of them are single family. We've been trying to we've been getting into some of them multifamily, and then we're just this year because I missed out. We missed out on it last year, but this year we're picking up a retail center in Michigan, and
Nice.
Couldn't do it soon enough because it's almost the end of the year, and we have to hide our tax liabilities a little bit. I mean, I just kind of soften the tax blow, from our businesses that are doing well.
I'm not going to let you go with that without that one verbiage. You had a conversation with me, and I absolutely love it. What do you like best to invest in?
Yeah, so next year, hopefully, with you, we're going to do the multifamily deal, and I like that at least 2.5 times better than the retail, at least.
I never knew of a number. What you said that is like 2.5 times more than anything else. And I would agree with that statement 1,000%. We still flip houses, we flip apartment complexes, and we build the apartment complexes. But ever since I got from single family to multifamily, at least 2.5 times better in multifamily. Yeah,
100%. And hopefully we do a lot more together, Mike.
We will. I'm only going to show you good deals. I can't thank you enough. And wrapping this interview up, I really do appreciate it. And I'm trying to think of, what would help out most people. What are your next 6 to 12 months, your concentration on?
So just like I mentioned before, it's my focus has shifted from I've taken some I was solely focused on design, and I've taken some of my attention away for organizational development. Just because as we expand, as we take on acquire different companies and so forth, and different teams, we have to have that organizational. It's both imparting the cultures that we're inheriting, and then developing our core culture. We have one in place. It's just that it's under continuous development, and I think that's never going to end. Only because businesses change, and you always try to you get to a level that you want to be at, and you're like, well, what's next?
Right.
It never ends, So that's where my focus is on focusing more on business than the actual work right now. And my team is doing an amazing job handling the rest of it. Again, focusing on the 20% makes me move.
Nice. All right, beautiful. Thank you for everything. If you could do me a favor and just tell everybody about, how to get in contact with you. So anybody watching the podcast can, find some of the best architecture in the world from Michigan to Florida. And pretty much you guys both, you've done multiple states, haven't you? Not just Michigan and Florida.
Yeah. We're licensed in Ohio, Virginia, BC,
wow.
North Carolina, Virgin Islands, and Illinois.
Wow. So you're this side of the United States, right? So you're like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, I just, like I said, I'm very blessed, and we have so many opportunities, so much to look forward to, and we're going to work our butts off and make sure that we take advantage of those opportunities offered to us.
Beautiful. So can you do me a favor and tell everybody about how to get in contact with you? What's your name, address, what's your company, and how to get, phone number? Anything you want to give out?
Sure. It's so you can get in touch with us on Instagram, DABC _collaborative. That's our Instagram name. And our office number is 248-852-7702.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to connecting.
Awesome. I can vouch for these people. They've done multiple things for me, and to be completely honest, we won awards working together. So if you want the best architecture in the world, I would start here. Every time someone asks me about an architect, I go, to be honest with you, I only got one. There's nobody else that we can recommend anymore. Well, listen, Pete, I can't thank you enough. I do appreciate this. Thank you for the interview, and thanks for helping out with people that are just looking to grow skill and get better at what they do. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. See you later.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.